Tonight, after a full season of late models in the Misfit Racing League, we take on a new challenge. It's time for the first of 3 races in the Triple Crown Showdown, where we're taking on 3 famous short tracks across America. Tonight, we're set for 200 laps at the iconic Slinger Speedway, and we'll have it all for you right here live on V-Speed. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined in the booth tonight by Eddie Smith, who's also working the controls on production. Eddie, while you're here, why don't you tell us a little bit about this famous racetrack?
Yeah, glad to be here tonight. Very, very excited about this track. Slinger Speedway in Wisconsin. And, well, if you know anything about Wisconsin, you know this is Matt Kenseth's stomping grounds. I mean, he dominated here. He has got so many wins. He's got more wins than anybody in the Slinger Nationals. 8 to be in total. 33 degrees banking. It's the world's fastest quarter mile with that 33-degree banking. And it is fast, it's crazy, and it's so crazy they even put a figure 8 in the middle. So these guys are going to be dealing with a lot of stuff tonight. It's going to be a lot of prayer, a lot of trusting in your fellow driver to get around this safely. And oh, by the way, it's got the craziest pit road I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a very unique racetrack. You mentioned it, 1/4 of a mile. The fastest lap time here in any car ever ran was under 10 seconds, 9.9. This place goes by fast. We're getting about 11 seconds here in these late models as we get ready to start qualifying. And it is going to be, I think, a very chaotic but a very good race tonight, because this track, no matter what it does, it puts on a show.
Yeah, I mean, look at the pit road. I mean, on the drone cam here, you've got these guys are all lined up outside of the track. It's just a horrifying pit road entry, but then it even gets worse with the pit road exit. As you can see, they kind of just have to fly out down the track, and it's almost blind as they come out of pit road. So just crazy. You said it pre-race, you do not want to be pitting under green flag conditions. So man, I just cannot wait to see this race. Practice has been pretty wild, so I expect the same out of the race, but yeah, looks like we're getting ready to do qualifying here soon, and we'll get you some of that in just a moment.
Yeah, in practice alone, we had 6 drivers go over 50 incident points. This is a track that lends itself to a lot of close contact. With these high banks, the close corners racing, it can be really easy to spin it out of here too. Really easy to just get on the throttle and lose it on that high banking. It's such a fun racetrack. We're getting ready to start qualifying now here in just a second. First driver out will be Jacob York in the 25, and we will continue upwards in number from there.
Yeah, these laps are so freaking fast that you don't even get a chance to breathe before you've already crossed the start finish line. So it requires like absolute precision of nailing your marks. You can't move and make one single mistake here, as we can see Jacob York starting to pull off a pit road now. We'll kind of watch on board as you can see the pit road exit here. Is it's like a roller coaster as he gets ready to start his time. He's waiting for race control to say, look at it. Just drives down off the corner and just right into it.
And it's just as sketchy to get back into pit road because you're pulling up basically up the banking through the corner. This track is wild. We're going to see Jacob York make his outlap right now. He's got 2 laps and blink, and you'll miss it because they go by so quick here. Ran the top on the outlap to try to build up a little speed, and he's going to do it again in 3 to 4. It looks like 2 is going to be his hot lap.
Yeah, threw the first one away. The tire's just too cold. This track requires the most speed, and you got to get those tires up to temp. So he just threw away the first lap. We'll see what the second one. He's going to tag the wall, and that invalidates his lap time. Oh, frustrating.
And you see that turn back into the pits there. You got to hook a right in the middle of turn 2 to get that thing on the pit road. Better hope you don't have to pit in or out under green flag, or else you might get into some trouble. Next car out on the racetrack is going to be the 26 car of Frank Barbary. He is going to make his way, you can see him making his way out onto the racetrack, and he'll cross the start-finish line to begin his outlap.
Yeah, he actually pulls off and doesn't like something. I don't know. He's going to pull down to the bottom. Into the grass.
He's got a furled black flag. It might have been some kind of pit road issue. Same with the 28 behind him. So maybe an issue with the pit road and how we're lining these cars up.
It's like Carter Levi is going to, I mean, look at the pit road exit. I mean, they're having to be so careful here.
Well, 26 is coming around, but I'm not sure how he's going to get out ahead of the 28 of Carter Levi here. Well, he's going to try.
We've got a weird funnel situation here is
okay, so all three of these cars have just gotten black flags again. So there seems to be an issue with how iRacing is handling the pit road exit here, and that's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah, I know that iRacing, if you have like qualifying scrutiny on, it doesn't like for you to be slow anywhere on the track, even in the pits. So I wonder if that's not part of it. But it looks like Frank Barbary is going to get going here, and hopefully they can just clear the black flag and he can get a lap in here.
That would be the hope. He's going to run kind of in no man's land in the middle of the racetrack there. You want to pick a lane, high or low, unless you got a car under you in the race, and then I think you can use the middle to defend. Barbary's going to come across, and it is not going to take a lap time for him because I think he's still dealing with that black flag. So we're going to have to find out how this is going to shake out for Frank Barbary. That is his second lap, and it still does not take a lap time.
Yeah, well, unforeseen circumstances, obviously. How do you deal with this? And it looks like they're not able to actually clear it. But I mean, York did get a lap down. He was able to get out there with no issue. So I don't know. Maybe they need to. I'm sure they're trying to figure that out now. So I'm not quite sure what could be the problem. It's just may be the way this funky pit road is. So
might just have to start the cars a little further back. That seems. Maybe it's because they're sitting right at the exit of pit road. I'm not sure. Frank Barbary is going to get a second run at it here. So he'll pull out of the pits. He's going to actually drive his way out of the pits. I don't think he's going to come to the stop. And this time the racetrack should let him actually run laps. And he doesn't have a black flag. It will.
Perfect. We figured it out. You know, they need a crane and just pick the cars off of out of the pit road, just drop them on the track. That'd probably be best.
Yeah, it's giving him black flags for stopping in the pit lane. A little bit of a scrape there. I think that was right before the start-finish line on lap 1, so I think he will get to take a time this lap. Again, he's just kind of running a little bit in the middle here with that 26 car, trying to find a lane. It did not take a time, or it did take a time. It's a 12.114, came through a little late. He'll go a little lower on the racetrack here, roll it off, dodge the wall. We'll see where the 26 goes. And it is not any faster, so a 12.113 for that 26. Going to have some work to do.
Yeah, you could tell he just didn't feel comfortable with this car. Open setups tonight, maybe go in there and make a couple changes. But, yeah, he did not feel very comfortable. Now, Carter Levi seems to feel pretty dang comfortable here as he's flying out of pit road, and he's ready to set a fast lap time. Coming across the line, we'll see where his first lap is. But that was his second lap, so he'll jump up on the top of the board with 11.7.
That's how fast these laps go here. You blink and suddenly Carter Levi's already got a lap and a half done. Brad Carpenter is going to come out now. Yeah, so that's Jared Shelley's going to pass. It'll be the 31 of Brad Carpenter making his way onto the racetrack. Let's see if he's a little more comfortable like Carter Levi was and able to throw down a good lap time.
Yeah, we see a lot of drivers doing that high line coming to the first green flag, and then also for the second lap. We'll see what Carpenter does here. As you can see, he's going to go right down to the bottom. So he's going to try to set his first lap on the bottom. A safe lap, because if you hit the wall on your second, it could throw everything away. So he's going to elect to run both at the bottom. We're going to see where that. And first lap right up at the top of the board, 11.660 for Brad Carpenter. Can he get better on the second lap? He is going to hit the apron. That's not good. Yeah, second lap is really going to be hurting. Yeah, about 0.3 slower. So he's going to take the pole, but I'm sure he's going to be a little disappointed about that run.
Yep, and now Jared Shell is going to make his way onto the racetrack in the 34 car, shaking it a little bit to try to warm up the tires on that thing before he goes for his outlap. Gonna ride the top here and try to build up momentum to get a good run on his first lap. Still kind of shaking the car a little bit on exit. He'll cut down to the bottom for lap 1. Up onto the back straight, no issues, and he's going to cut back down to the bottom. Going to take both of these laps at speed. Shell goes first.
Just does a little burnout down in the... I love it. Corey Bodie in the number 44 machine going to take his... And you can see everybody's purposefully coming out of their pit stall, driving right out on the track to avoid that black flag. So Bodie will get his first lap. One of the best looking cars in MRL. I see it every week, and I just it's an extremely nice paint scheme. He's had a couple good ones.
He's had a couple good drives in this league, too. One of the faster drivers here. Going to look to move up the board right now. Not a great lap there. He's taking his time. He's going to warm it up, and he's going to go way loose across the start-finish line right there. But he keeps it straight and goes to the top of the board. One more try on lap 2. We're going to see where he takes that. He is going to go a little slower. It's time for Michael Wiseman, the 74.
I'm not really sure if they can run multiple laps. I think they can only run 2, but yeah, it seems like everybody's really struggling to find grip here early. Setups obviously made to kind of come in after a pretty decent run, so they're going to be just lacking grip. We see a lot of folks really struggling with the drive off here. You can see Michael Wiseman get really loose on exit. So everybody seems to be dealing with that particular issue. Who can keep the rear tires under it for these qualifying runs will end up on top, as Wiseman's going to go to 5th as he's going to hit the wall. That will invalidate the next lap time.
Yeah, I think what we're doing here is that first lap, I believe, is being counted as an out lap because you come out of the pits in a really weird spot behind the start-finish line here. So this first lap's kind of more of an out lap. I mean, it counts towards your time, but it's not going to be your hot lap. And then the next time around will probably be your fastest, but you get 2 tries at it. It's Jake Grout in the 49 on the racetrack right now. Won some races in the Misfit Touring Series that we just finished. One of the faster drivers there. We'll see where he goes in qualifying right here. And he will go top of the board with an 11.508. He'll take that. He'll pull into the pits. Thank you very much.
Hey, a big shout out to Race Control here. They are doing, I mean, after that initial hiccup trying to figure out the issue, they have nailed this down, and this is going really smoothly now. Well, you got Stephen Heights out on track now in the 51 machine, and we'll see what he can do to try to get to the... Everybody so far has sort of hit the top of the board, so we'll see if he continues that trend here.
Yeah, a lot of fast laps have been run. I think Jake Grout's got a good chance to hold on for a top 2 or 3 there. Heights on the first lap is going to go 9th, and he is going to absolutely tank the wall and slide it across the start-finish line. And that will be the end for Stephen Heights' qualifying run. Christian Peterson up next.
Yeah, I would probably advise everybody to not do what he just did. That is a hard lick there on qualifying. He was trying to get all he could, and the car just was not responding the way he wanted to. Peterson, a contender for the pole for sure. Seems like that car is rotating through the middle very well, and he did not seem to really struggle. It's the quickest first lap I've seen out of anybody, and they're going to go to 7th just on that first lap, the out lap.
And we'll see where he comes across on the second time. The 71 of Christian Peterson was our title winner in the Misfit Touring Series. He goes 5th on the board in between Carpenter and Levi. 3rd lap last time around. Where is Peterson going to shake out? He is going to tag the wall and count the lap anyway. He'll jump Carpenter for 4th.
Well, here comes the 78 of Aaron Johnson. I know Aaron Johnson very, very well. He's a great late model driver. We'll see what he can do. Haven't seen him in MRL in the last few races that I've run, but I know him very well. Great guy. I really enjoy spending some time with him. He helped me learn some late model racing for a while. First lap, that out lap, you could see it's just so much slower. And he is running sort of that middle line like we saw earlier.
It is. He's a driver who I don't think made any starts in the Misfit Racing League so far this season. Goes up to 8th on that second lap. We'll see where he comes on his final one. Big improvement. He'll go up to 3rd for Aaron Johnson. third of 11 currently on the board. And now next up, starting his outlap, is one of the faster drivers in the series, the 86 of Justin Crow.
Yeah, Justin Crow, we do know, and he is up there fighting for the lead, up inside the top 5 every single week at MRL. Just a great driver. We'll see what he can do here as he comes around to finish his first lap. A little bit slower there, 11.826. That's good enough for 11th. He's really going to have to pick this up. He's going to start up towards the front. Oh, and he bobbles.
Oh.
Well, that's not going to do it. He's going to bobble coming to his final lap, and he just kind of marked it. Now, Jake Sylvia, this guy is definitely one who can put it on the pole.
For sure. He's got a lot of qualifying speed. Another guy who won some races in the Misfit Touring Series regular season in these open setup, late model stocks. Very similar format to what we're running here tonight. And now we're at Slinger in a bit of a different series, the Triple Crown Showdown. We'll see if he can carry that speed with him and try to get another win. Woo. Rolls 11th and bangs the wall hard that time around. He's got one more lap to try to make up for it here. Gonna dip it down into 3 and 4 right on the bottom, as we've seen so many drivers go. Gets it off cleanly. And Jake Sylvia is going to move up the board a little. He'll go to 4th.
Yeah, that was going to be a good lap. Man, he was really hammered down. So to see him run a 6 and get the 4th was actually really impressive there. I think that car had a lot more in it. Right now, Jake Grout holding the top spot, but Colt Martin now on the track. See if he can make some waves up here. Colt Martin, not a name that I know. We're going to find out what about 11.669 his first lap. We'll see if he can improve upon it here. That's pretty quick. Oh, he gets real loose there, yeah.
Yeah, big loose. That's definitely not going to help him. He's going to come around here. We got a car in front of him. I think Andon Mendenhall might have jumped the gun a little bit. Colt Martin will go 8th and will pull it back into the pits. Andon Mendenhall's already out here for his first lap. That's going to not be much because it is kind of his outlap. This is going to be the fast one for the 5 car. Coming down through 3 and 4, you saw him shaking it to try to warm up the tires. We've seen a couple cars try that. Dinks it off the wall, not too badly though, and he will.
It invalidated it, yeah.
Invalidated his lap, so a little bit of a wall hit is all it takes. Won't hit it that time around. He will move up into the mid pack, and in Mendenhall 12th.
Yeah, we've seen that wall coming to the start finish line grab quite a few guys so far, so. Something to be thinking about for the race, especially if you're trying to make a move on somebody at that point of the track. I mean, down on the bottom too wide, that's going to be dang near impossible, it feels like. Todd Dennis is going to come out, try to make something happen right now. Jake Grout got to be feeling really good. That 11.508, I thought somebody would get down to maybe close to that, but it is. Folks have been running the 6s for the most part. We still have Kyle Terzak and others to qualify. So there's still opportunities for somebody to knock him off the top spot, but that 11.5 is pretty dang quick.
I was going to say, wait for Kyle Terzak to come around about 3 cars for now. He was the fastest car in practice by a good bit. He's always got speed. Ty Dennis is going to roll 13th on that lap. He'll come around to finish his last lap, and he's not really going to improve. Ty Dennis will stay 13th. The next car out will be the 14 of Chance Taylor.
Yeah, in practice, which I know the conditions are way different. In practice, they were running flats and 1s. So big difference in track conditions for qualifying, as they're about 4/10 off of their pace. Chance Taylor, I do know. He is a very, very solid driver. I don't know how good he is at late models, though. I only know him from big track stuff. It looks like he is slinging that car in there, though. And that's what you do here at Slinger. Sky, you sling it.
I was going to say, they call it Slinger for a reason. It's almost like that's probably the perfect name for a town if you're going to put a racetrack in it. Yeah. Chance Taylor goes 9th on that lap. He'll come around next time, last time, and he will not go any quicker. So Chance Taylor 9th out of 17th, and here comes the heavy hitter, Kyle Terzak, winner of 9 out of 18 races in the Misfit Touring League. He's got a great chance to snag the pole tonight.
Yeah, you can see him working that wheel. Just please get some heat in these front tires. Here he comes to take his first lap, and we're going to see what this car can do. I mean, seems to be rolling really well in the middle of the corner. He's carrying a lot of speed. Oh, and he had to give it up. Oh, no.
He always brings great setups here. That certainly didn't help. He'll go 9th, and with that kind of let off right at the start finish line, it's not going to help this lap either.
Oh, it did.
Comes around.
It did.
Yeah, he'll move up to 4th, so could have been worse, could have been better for Kyle Turzak. He'll still start inside the top 5 tonight. Next car out will be the 16 of Clayton Edwards, a driver we saw a little bit of in the Misfit Touring Series towards the end of the season. He had the ability to run up front in some of these races. We'll see if he can run a good qualifying time right here in the number 16. He'll roll it through 3 and 4 right back around to that start-finish line, and his first lap is going to be pretty quick. He'll jump up to 10th.
Yeah, 11.6, 7.1 for Clayton Edwards. And he's going to tag the wall, likely going to invalidate that lap time. So good enough for 10th. Now it looks like we got Deegan Smith.
He's in that 15 car, 20 on the ticker, 15 on the car. Always a little discrepancy with that for Deegan Smith, but he'll get it rolling here. He's the 20th car in the session out of the 20 we have, and I just want to note there are only 20 pit boxes here at Slinger, so I think everyone's a little glad that we only had 20 here tonight because the max field, I believe, was 26. Deegan Smith is going to work his way around here for his first competitive lap. He'll go last on the out lap. That doesn't matter. This is the one that's actually worth the money, and he's going to bring it home. Not great. Looks like he's going to slot in 15th. Deegan Smith's got one more try to move himself up the field tonight. He'll come across the start-finish line much quicker. He'll go to 3rd.
Yeah, wow, really solid second lap. That was really, really impressive, and that's going to do it. That's everybody. So Jake Grout comes away with the pole here tonight at Slinger.
He does, and right behind him, it's Corey Bodie. Late heroics from Deegan Smith, Aaron Johnson, and Kyle Turzak, who probably wanted to go a little bit better than 5th. We're going to send it down right now for the national anthem, and when we'll come back, we'll have the grid and 200 laps at Slinger.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Welcome back to V-Speed for the first race of the Triple Crown Showdown at Slinger. The field is getting lined up here, and we're going to give you your starting grid for tonight. There's no invert this week. We're going straight up, and on the pole is Jake Grout in the 49. Corey Bodie to his outside in the 44 in second. One spot back from him, Deegan Smith with some late heroics in qualifying goes 3rd in the 20. Aaron Johnson in the 78 rolls off 4th. Second place in the Misfit Touring Series season, Kyle Turzak rolls off 5th in the 15. Jake Sylvia, the Season 1 champion, 6th in the 1. Jared Schell rolls off 7th in the 34. Christian Peterson, your title winner from last week, 8th in the 71. And rounding out your top 10 tonight will be Brad Carpenter, 9th in the 31, and Colton Martin, 10th in the 4.
Clayton Edwards going to roll off in 11th, and Chance Taylor in that 12th position. In 13th, Carter Levi and Michael Wiseman in 14th. In 15th, Justin Crow, I expect to see him moving up through the field. And in Mendenhall in 16th. In 17th, it's going to be Todd Dennis and Frank Barbary in that 18th position. And then rounding out your field, Jacob York, Stephen Heights.
Those are your 20 cars tonight at Slinger, and the field is going to roll off for a couple pace laps here. This track is so fast. It's so chaotic. Race length 200 laps. Pit road speed 30 miles an hour. You've got 3 tire sets available and 3 attempts at a green white checkered if we need them. And let me tell you, with how this track is, we might need them. 100% fuel load tonight, and as they're always in the Misfit Racing League late model leagues, we have open setups. Pace car is off, green flag is out, and Jake Grout will lead him to the line.
Already some guys into the wall. The 44 of Corey Bodie gets into the wall early. The 15, well, the 20 of Deegan Smith gets a little bit loose, spun the tires, but so far so good, Sky. After just 2 laps, I didn't expect this so far, as we got one getting loose in the back.
We're going to have cars getting loose everywhere here with how this racetrack is. We're still side by side for now. This track is inside dominant, but if you run about a lane up, it's possible to take somebody's line away and really hurt their ability to get off the corner. That seems to be Brad Carpenter's strategy right now until he can get down to the bottom.
Yeah, he's trying to make it work, but that outside line just not there just yet. He is struggling. He's going to try to sling it into the corner and gets loose, and the car actually saves him. He's going to lose a ton of spots. Brad Carpenter not having a great first few laps. It is a disaster.
No, he's sliding back through the field, and he's definitely used up those tires trying to run around and make time out on the outside. The laps tick down quick here. We're already 6 in the books, and we've got a battle for the lead. Jake Grout under threat from a hard-charging Deegan Smith.
Yeah, you could see just how, it's going to be difficult to pass here. You're going to have to really get a good run through the middle of the corner and then take a dive, I think, to get down to the bottom to be able to make a move, or Jake Grout's just going to lose the exit and almost open the door for Deegan Smith, but Deegan not able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, this track, it's high banked, but it's bumpy too. Can be really easy to slide off that bottom, even if you're trying to defend it and open the door for the car behind you. That's what happened for Deegan Smith right there, getting around Jake Grout on lap 10. First new leader of the race, Deegan Smith going from 3rd to 1st.
This is a quarter-mile track, and he's laying down 8th-mile tire marks on the front straightaway as he is just sideways coming across the line, trying to keep those tires just digging into the pavement. And so far, it's working. He's going to have to do it for 200 laps. Now I'm getting a little bit worried here, Sky, that I expected, we did a poll before the race of how many cautions, and, I was expecting to see a few by this point, and we're already clean. So you might be careful. You might have to run 200 laps on these set of tires.
You might. We're going to have to find out. One driver who went to the back to start the race is Jared Shell. He took an EOL, would have started 7th, is starting last. So he's going to have to drive his way through the whole field. We got a car slow on the straightaway. That's Clayton Edwards in 15th. Might have had a problem with the wall there, and you definitely do not want to have problems with the wall here. Not only because it'll break your car, but if you break it hard enough that you have to make a pit stop, you are going to have a very bad time getting on and off pit road here. So if you're Clayton Edwards, you want to just lock it down, keep it straight. Don't make that pit stop till the caution comes out.
Yeah, I think you just don't pit. I think even if your toe is all jacked up and the steering wheel's going the wrong way, I think you just stay on the track and just hope for a caution, because going down pit road is basically just like, you might as well just ramp it up like they were doing in practice and just exit the track at that point. So I don't think you want to see any pit stops for sure. It's a crazy pit road.
No, I think it's probably better for your race to just limp it around the grass in the infield. issues for the 78 of Aaron Johnson. He has blinked out of the session. So unless he gets back in soon, he's going to be multiple laps down in that 78 car. And oh, we got the leader, second place around. Jake Grout around from second. He was trying to challenge Deegan Smith for the lead. We're going to find out what happened there on the DriverTees.com replay. This is going to be coming out of turn 2. It looks like this track is so tight, so easy to just over-rev it and get loose. We'll see what happened to him.
Yeah, they're catching lap traffic and just trying to keep it off that lap car, and it just gets loose. He's trying to put the power down. He's trying to keep up with Deegan Smith, and that's what happened. So lap traffic being a huge deal here, something we really didn't even talk about because we just didn't consider it because we didn't expect to be green flag 23 laps into this race. But already, Deegan Smith putting, folks, laps down quickly. These laps only 12 seconds. And even with 20 drivers, they have caught the back of the field. So you're going to see some guys get desperate who are like right up here, Colt Martin, trying to get around Clayton Edwards as he sees that 15 machine on his way.
Yeah, look who's a couple cars up the road to get lapped. It's Jake Grout already. That's how much one spin, one little mistake can cost you here, because he's gone from second back to 13th, and he's being threatened with getting laps. Colt Martin is going to get around Clayton Edwards, but as they race side by side, that is only letting Deegan Smith get closer for that lead. Terzak and Bodie are going to have to deal with lap traffic coming up here in second and third, respectively.
Yeah, watch it on board. Just look how chaotic this is. It's such a small racetrack. Things happen so fast that you just have to almost be in a flow state the whole time. You just don't get any chance to breathe. Even as the leader, you don't get a chance. He's constantly going to be dealing with cars. But incredible start so far. I mean, hats off to these guys so far. The Triple Crown starting off with a bang as we are green flag all the way to lap 30.
Yeah, not a lot of caution so far, but I think once we get closer to the end of the race, you might see that change just a little bit. Deegan Smith, he's got a lap car loose in front of him. He's trying to navigate it around Clayton Edwards. That's always a scary sight, especially when you're racing in as close quarters as these drivers are tonight at Slinger. Next car up the road, going to be Colt Martin in the 4, but he is trying his best to get away.
Yeah, Deegan did a great job there getting around Clayton Edwards. Clayton tried to hold him up just a little bit, but just the speed's not there for the 16. Just wasn't able to do it. Of course, we saw him go around, so those tires are probably a lot like basketball. So lap traffic being a huge deal, not just for the leader, but also everybody on the track. Cars are on top of each other. You got Carter Levi here in the 28 with Christian Peterson and the 51 of Stephen Heights, who is a lap down car. These guys are all battling with each other amongst the lap cars, and there have been a couple moments that have been extremely terrifying. But Carter Levi and Justin Crow and Jacob York are your biggest movers so far. Carter Levi up 7 spots from where he started. Justin Crow right behind him, who gets right to the back bumper, up 8 from where he started, and 11 for Jacob York. And we saw him, he was pretty fast. He made contact with the wall that invalidated his lap time. So we know he's got speed, but these guys are on the move right now as Justin Crow just going to drive right down, and Carter Levi just going to let him go.
Yeah, you're never really alone on this racetrack. Sometimes when you're racing at bigger racetracks, you'll get in a situation where it's like a second to the car in front of you, it's a second and a half to the car behind you, and you're just running, consistent, steady laps. There is none of that here. You're always fighting with somebody else. You're always racing another car because this track is so small, you've got no room to be alone. Here's the battle for fourth between Peterson and Sylvia. Sylvia is trying to cut that runoff from Peterson on the top of the 71. Just has the momentum on the bottom. The 2 Misfit Touring Series champions, Season 1 and Season 2, are duking it out for fourth in the Triple Crown Showdown.
Yeah, Sylvia is actually doing a great job on the outside. So you wonder if that outside line is starting to gain a little bit of speed as the run goes on. These tires start to fade. Because Sylvia, I haven't seen anybody be able to hold off somebody like he is right now. So Sylvia playing a little defense here as we get deeper into this tire run. 42 laps now on these tires. And that outside line, you can almost see that groove sort of widen out just a little bit. See that tire rubber down on the track, it is dynamic. It does move just a little bit. So we're starting to see that groove widen out a little bit. Now Peterson actually kind of was looking to the outside, but now just starting to give him a little bit of bumps here and there and saying, hey, I'm here. I just want you to know I'd like for you to go.
Yeah, they're having to deal with lap cars now. That's Barbary in the 26, and there's a little bit more contact between the 1 and the 74. Want to give a quick update on that 78 to Aaron Johnson, whose internet dropped out from the top 5. Potential issues with the weather going on in the South right now. I think I can speak for both of us that we've both had issues with that up here in the booth. Very much going to affect some of these drivers. Aaron Johnson obviously fallen victim to it. Oh, and almost spun it in front of Sylvia. That was the lap car of Clayton Edwards. It's getting dicey up here in the front.
Yeah, Clayton just not having a great time. Got loose real bad early, and then just continues to have that trouble. As here comes Peterson, showing why he's the champ, baby. Giving Sylvia a little bump, saying, hey, can I go, please? We're wasting time.
They are racing for it for sure, because we're 50 laps in. We haven't had a caution. I'd say they're about halfway to getting lapped just because of how much time Deegan Smith has pulled up over everybody. We've already got half the field put a lap down, and in Mendenhall in 10th, about to go a lap down here to that 20 car of Deegan Smith. This is how fast this racetrack can go. We're already a quarter of the way through this race. It's been clean, it's been green, and green flag pit stop, Clayton Edwards.
Yeah, this is one thing we did not want to see, which is somebody coming down pit road. And unfortunately for him, that's what he felt like he needed to do. And you can see, I mean, he's going to lose probably, it feels like maybe 10 laps sitting on pit road. So, bummer for him. But this battle for 4th is still pretty incredible as he's coming out of pit road now. Peterson back down to the inside, but Sylvia just will not move.
Yeah, you can see him leaving the pits in the background. It is basically blind on a pit road. You just got to hope you don't exit in front of somebody. And the caution has come out. Do we want to bet it was related to that? It was. It's because he stopped on the racetrack.
Wow, I cannot believe it. But you're absolutely right. He kind of, they threw the caution flag. So it was an admin caution. And you can see folks going down pit road almost immediately. No surprise there. And they cut down pit road. I see Jake Sylvia came down pit road. Chance Taylor also down pit road.
And some of these drivers are going to want new tires. You get 2 extra sets of rubber in the pits. So good chance to take them now, especially with a very long green flag stint being put on them. You might see a couple more cars come down here over the next few laps. We'll see. We're going to get a V-speed replay, and yeah, the 16 of Clayton Edwards just stops at the end of pit road. He's trying to find a spot to rejoin the racetrack, but there's cars going around here every second. He's just got nowhere to get out, and the admins had to throw a caution to let that 16 car get back on the racetrack.
Yeah, I wanted to see it from his point of view, and you could just see, I mean, how do you do it? Everybody's going straight up to the wall. It's impossible. The pace car actually runs through him to come out and pick up the field. So, but although they're saying it, the actual caution may be on the 5. So maybe there was some caution that we did not see.
Well, we're gonna find out here for sure, but we're going back green right now, it looks like. Yes, we are. All right, so we're already back green. Short caution there. Deegan Smith is gonna roll it, and he's gonna get into trouble. Contact with that 15 of Kyle Turzak is gonna put him on the inside and drop him back through the field. He's in lap car territory right now. Kyle Turzak, your new leader up front.
Wow, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I hate that we missed that. Let's go back and watch that because I don't want to miss that, at least a pass for the lead. We'll try to, you see going down into turn 1 and just gets a little bit loose, and then Turzak actually tank slaps him, and that's what causes him to have to go down to the apron, but does a good job of staying out of the way and not causing a huge pileup. So Turzak will take over the lead here after that caution.
Yeah, these cautions go by so quick because the laps at this track go by so quick. It's only a quarter-mile long. It's the shortest oval on iRacing, and stuff like that can happen sometimes where you're just going so quick around here. Christian Peterson caught his way up through the field, started 8th up to 3rd, just like Justin Crow behind him, who had a bad qualifying effort and has managed to go from 15th to 4th, and the caution is out again. Further back, looks like Colt Martin is around on the front straightaway.
Now the cautions are starting to fly. You start to feel the intensity pick up. Take a look here at the driver T's. Oh, he gets spun by the 16 of Clayton Edwards. Clayton Edwards having a terrible night, trying to transfer his bad night over to somebody else, and gives him a little shove here. Watch on board with Clayton Edwards. He's just going to say, "Excuse me, I've got 5 laps to make up."
Yeah, and he's got a lot of lap cars in front of him, too, because we've only got 9 on the lead lap. We're a third of the way through this race. That is how fast the laps fly off the board here. 200 may seem like a lot, but at Slinger, it is not. And we got leaders in the pits. Bodie, Terzak, Carter Levi, Justin Crow, all down.
Yeah, interesting to see this. I wasn't expecting to see folks come down on this caution, but I think the pit road entry being open caught some guys. And look, I mean, Terzak's going to go a lap down here.
That is the problem with pitting at Slinger. The track is so short, and you're pitting on the outside of the racetrack. Terzak didn't do anything special. He came down, he put 4 tires on the car, and then he left. I don't even think he put 4 tires. I think he only put 2 tires on the car.
Absolutely.
And he still came out a lap down.
Yeah, I mean, it's 11 seconds to put 4 tires or to put 2 tires on in fuel. And because of that, he's going to come out in 6th, 1 lap down. Unbelievable.
Well, yeah, the 4 cars in front of him, it's Jake Sylvia. He has pit. He got the lucky dog. And then it's Peterson, Wiseman, and Deegan Smith who haven't pit yet. Peterson gets the jump. Green flag is straight back out. Smith, and that is going to be the 74 of Wiseman side by side for 2nd.
Well, I think we learned something there. And, you know, wow, that's unbelievable. I'm just blown away that I mean, I don't know if that was a mistake that I could say is a mistake. I mean, you just don't know sometimes. And, I mean, Terzak was going to be pushing it, even pitting from the lead to make it out. Especially the guys behind him weren't going to be able to make it. So that's wild. But I tell you what, who's going to make it back up to the front? That's a Deegan Smith in that 20 machine, 15 on the track. He is already back out front after that sort of terrible restart that he got and get tank slapped. Now he's on the inside of Christian Peterson to try to take that lead back.
That is going to be an issue for pretty much everybody this race. And these guys who are a lap down now, like Ty Dennis, Kyle Terzak, they're going to be reliant on lucky dogs and these guys up here pitting. But we're side by side for the lead of the race. Smith and Peterson are going at it, and Deegan Smith is going to take the lead back over. He'll go back to the front after getting back in the field on that restart with I believe it was Kyle Terzak. Jake Grout is moving through for 2nd. Jake Grout currently 2 laps down. He is not going to drive like it. He is going to put himself 1 lap down on speed.
Yeah, this is this whole last sequence under caution is throwing this race. I mean, we're already trying to fight to keep up with what's going on in this race. But now it's going to get even crazier because you're going to have fresh tires who are a lap down who need to make up that lap. They're going to be driving hard to get back up through the leaders. You know, you think about like you said, Jake Grout there, Kyle Terzak, who's right behind the 2 leaders. And then, yeah, almost huge wreck right there out of the 4. But, I mean, Terzak's now in the lucky dog spot, but he has to continue to fight. And that lucky dog is now a huge part of the race. So Terzak is 1 car away from getting himself back on lead lap. Then it'll fall back into Corey Bodie's hands. But Bodie needs to make sure he keeps Carter Levi behind him. So this is going to be a wild and crazy 120 laps that we're going to have here for the rest of the race. It started off nice and smooth, Scott, almost like a nice little vacation. Now it's like we're in Dallas traffic, honestly.
This feels like a multi-class race. Like if you've
Yeah.
ever run a multi-class race, you got the Cup cars who are on fresh tires trying to drive their way through everybody. You got the Xfinity who are up here on the lead lap. The guys who, haven't pit yet, have stayed on the lead lap but are just trying to not get wrecked. And then you've got like the trucks who are the cars that are 4 or 5 laps down off the pace, getting passed by everybody. We've got like 3 different classes of cars out here, and they're all racing with each other, and none of them can get away with each other because the laps here are only about 12 seconds long.
You know what? I think caution out on the speedway. It looks like Brad Carpenter has gone around along with Jared Shell. So caution going to come out on the speedway. My goodness, I need the break, honestly.
And I think what's going to happen is that these guys, Deegan, Smith, Peterson, Wiseman, are going to have to pit because he can go apparently 186 laps on a full tank, but I'd imagine you would want tires. We're going to see the DriverTees.com DriverTees.com replay, and there is contact with Shell into the back of Carpenter, and there they both go.
There might have been a little bit of beef there that we hadn't seen in the previous laps. And it looks like Christian Peterson is coming down pit road. But Deegan Smith going to stay out.
Well, Christian Peterson's probably going to lose a lap here in the process, just as everybody else has when they made the turn down pit road. He's not even going to do anything special. He's only going to come down and put 2 tires on it. But that will be enough, it looks like, to put him a lap down. Yep, pit road's closed. He's going to have to stop. It is going to be Deegan Smith doing the same thing this lap. So this is going to cycle Jake Sylvia, I think, back to the lead of the race, followed by Terzak, followed by Bodie.
Well, and I think they'll be able to get these stops because Deegan's going to come out. I don't think they went a lap down. I think Peterson did. I'm not sure. Oh, he is going to go a lap down. Yeah. Golly, so close.
He was close. He almost got it, but that's about as fast as you can do it. He was leading the race. He took 2 tires. I mean, you can't do it any quicker than that.
Yeah, I mean, they're having to extend the cautions like quite a few laps just so everybody can get lined back up. You can almost just see the confusion at the moment as everybody's trying to get, you got waiver rounds going around the field here to get back on lead lap. We have 7 cars, even with the waiver rounds, on the lead lap. So, yeah, this race is wacky. I love it, honestly.
Yeah, this is going to be one where, I mean, you can make it up if you're 1 lap down and you go 1 lap down on a pit stop. That's fine. That's doable. The thing you don't want to do is you don't want to go 2 laps down, because if you go 2 laps down, you're not getting that back at any point. So everyone from about Chance Taylor on back is in serious trouble to do anything related to winning this race. You got to be kind of at least 1 lap down because of the amount of lucky dogs that are going to be given out to cars that are pitting with the waiver rounds. I mean, for Chance Taylor, you'd basically just have to not pit to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, the strategy I feel like is at this point, if you have pit, you're in good shape. Probably Ty Dennis, the only driver that has not come down pit road so far, and we don't think they can make it on fuel. Enough cautions maybe, but it's going to be close. So we're getting ready to go green here as pace car going to yank it up over. It actually does a wheelie. That's awesome.
Does a wheelie and everything. We're getting right back into it, and we are getting ready to go green here. Woo. All right. Jake Sylvia will lead him off with Kyle Terzak behind. Sorry, I was looking at something else. Corey Bodie had a moment, and he was in the grass before we even took the green flag, and that kind of scattered the back half of the field a little bit. Went green anyway, and Sylvia is going to battle with Terzak for P1.
Yeah, Sylvia kind of grabbed the apron a little bit, kind of upset his car and put him in a weird spot, and I think that opened the door for Terzak. But Sylvia, we saw him be extremely strong, trying to hold off Peterson earlier on the outside. We'll see if he can do it again, and so far he's done a great job. Terzak, though, going to get about a nose ahead, and Sylvia going to grab the wall just a little bit. That's what Terzak needs, and now Terzak out front and in a commanding lead.
We know he won 9 races in the Misfit Touring Series. He had a ton of speed all year. Didn't win the championship. He missed a couple races, but he was the fastest driver for much of the season. And he's showing why here. About halfway now through this race at Slinger, and Kyle Terzak is your leader over Jake Sylvia. And then it's a 2.5-second gap for the next car on the lead lap, Carter Levi in the 28.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how big a difference these tires are going to be. Only taking 2, but we saw that the leaders were kind of enamored with lap traffic that was passing them on fresh tires. So we know that tires do matter. So I just don't know if we'll see anybody risk going a lap down again. But it may be, if we get another caution, we might see some more of that tire strategy pay off, especially if you're in a position where you can get back on the lead lap pretty quickly. So I'm going to be interested to see who takes tires late in this race, knowing they'll go a lap down, but knowing that they might be able to get it back and then have a fresh set of tires. So I'm kind of curious. Right now, the highest running new tires is Christian Peterson, and he's about 0.2 of a second faster than the leader. So it does make at least a little bit of difference.
Yeah, he just bullied Sylvia out of the way there. Jake Grout just got himself back onto the lead lap on speed. Christian Peterson is going to look to do the same here. This is the leader, 1 spot in front of him. Terzak obviously doesn't want to let him through, so Peterson, with the advantage of those fresh tires, is just going to try to work a crossover, and he almost punts Terzak, and then a big loose for Sylvia. We all keep it straight, and now Terzak is spending all his time racing with a lap car, doors him to the apron. This is going to open the door for Jake Sylvia to race for the lead.
Terzak did not like the bumps, not one bit, because he parked it, used the brake and parked it as Peterson gets to his back bumper to make sure he couldn't send him, and almost checked them both up and caused a massive wreck. But Peterson able to get through. Terzak was not happy about the contact and tried to stop that from happening.
Yeah, they're battling for second now. The 25 car has clawed his way back up to third. That's Jacob York. He got around Carter Levi in fourth, and he's starting to make his way up to these guys. These are all drivers, again, aside from Ty Dennis, who pit about 40 laps ago, and they're still running this set of tires. Ty Dennis is on 110 laps, and we got another car that's kind of stopped up there, I think, waiting to rejoin the racetrack. Can be really difficult.
I think that's Aaron Mendenhall, I do believe. Caution, though, out on the speedway. Stephen Heights has gone around.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Stephen Heights is around.
Celebrating too early.
Smoke. Yeah, cloud of smoke out of that 51 car. That was basically in victory lane down there. We're going to get a replay of that and show you what happened on the drivertees.com instant replay. He is racing with, that is Michael Wiseman in the 74 car right behind him, and Wiseman is going to clip him on exit and send him around into the infield.
Yeah, Steven kind of was gassing up a little bit, trying to hang on to that position, and just got a little bit loose, and there was a little bit of net code there as well. So no harm, no foul, I don't think, out of that one.
All right, well, we got a couple pit stops. Carter Levi making the move down pit road. And, well, okay, Carter Levi did not actually pit. He just drove down pit road, got lapped, and then drove it back off pit road. So I don't, maybe missed his box there, but that's about the worst thing you could possibly do. Justin Crow also came down. He's going 1 lap down, putting 2 new tires on it. Along with Brad Carpenter and Ty Dennis, took 4 and lost 2 laps.
Yeah, this is one of the wildest races I've ever seen as far as trying to deal with this. And I'll admit that, short track racing is not something that I watch a ton on iRacing. So I'm sure there's plenty of pit roads that are just like this, that are tough to deal with. And honestly, it creates for some really nice strategy. I do like the idea of you giving up a lap for a good set of tires. I think that actually is an interesting thing that you never really get to see. It's a tough call to make, but we're going to see if, staying out like Terzak and Sylvia probably are as we get ready to go back green here. As they put the loud pedal down, Terzak going to take off.
It's going to be interesting because those cars who got their laps back under green are now back on the lead lap. Jake Grout is running in 5th, and we know that car has a lot of speed. Same with Christian Peterson. They were both quicker than the leaders on that last stint, enough that they were able to drive through and get their laps back on pace. Will they be able to do the same thing here on the lead lap? We're going to find out. We take lap 119.
Yeah, Jake Grout actually is on the same set of tires as Jake Sylvia, 63 laps on the set that the right sides that he is on. And then Christian Peterson, who he is side by side with, pitted 33 laps ago. So he's got quite a bit fresher tires. And you can almost see Peterson sort of being super aggressive, knowing that he's got the advantage, but he's just not able to do anything with it at the moment.
Yeah, he's racing really tight with Jake Grout, and these are two cars that really need to get their way back up to the front of the field. Peterson, like you mentioned, is actually on those fresher tires, so he would want to have more speed, but he just doesn't have it right now over Jake Grout. This is a battle a little further up, and Sylvia is going to run York into the fence, and he's going to get hit, and we have a stack up in turn one.
Massive wreck as Sylvia actually does a 360 and drives away. You know why they call it an Xbox 360 there, Sky?
Why?
Because when you see it, you do a 360 and you walk away. And that's exactly what Sylvia did here. Is you're going to see that contact here on the drivertees.com replay. Just hard racing. And Sylvia just kind of drives up the track, gets connected, and squeezes him. And, yeah, then it's just calamity from there on out. 44
chain reaction.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, one change from the Misfit Touring Series. There are no faster pairs tonight. We had those all season in the Misfit Touring Series. We have none right now. So if you're a car like Jake Sylvia, like Christian Peterson, and you took some damage in that, you're going to be in trouble because either you're going to have to run with that damage the rest of the race, or you're going to have to lose many laps trying to fix it. Jake Sylvia will come down and he will put right side tires on, and I think everybody is going to only put right side tires on for the remainder of this race because you lose too many laps if you actually put all four on. He will come out one lap down. Christian Peterson took some big damage there. He will stay out, though.
Yeah, I think at this point, I'm fairly convinced that taking two tires and going a lap down is actually fine. It's not great, but I think it's fine. We still have a long way to go in this race, but I think taking four and losing 2 laps, I think might be insurmountable because there'll be too many drivers in that 1 lap down range. I just don't think that taking 2 tires is going to work out. So I think right now I feel like the strategy of 2 tires losing a lap might work out pretty well. We got Terzak, Jacob York side by side for this restart.
We do, and Terzak is going to get the jump. He'll take off to the lead at the green flag. York, he might have some damage because we saw him get put pretty hard in the wall in that Sylvia incident. We'll see how he can fight back. He'll pull down into third right now between Grout and Smith, and he will get run over by Deegan Smith. And somehow everybody keeps it straight, but the caution flies anyways.
Yeah, race control they're like NASCAR on that one. They immediately hit the button as soon as they saw smoke. But I was on board with Deegan Smith because he has the freshest tires up here, or did, and wanted to see what he was going to do. And you could see it's just stacked up right in front of him. Really not much he could do. And the 36 there, it kind of got saved by the car on the inside. So that was a wild and crazy wreck. And I think race control saw the spin through the caution to try to prevent a pileup, and they kind of fixed it.
Yeah, that was crazy. I thought that was going to be a huge moment right there. Everybody managed to keep it straight somehow. And race control is going to deem it a racing deal on that caution, so no one's going to have to go to the back. But some damage again there, maybe for Jake Grout. A couple cars towards the front, picking up some damage.
Well, I tell you what, Carter Levi just got the lucky dog, and these cautions for those drivers who took tires and went a lap down is working out great. Crow got the lap back. He is in 6th. Carter Levi in 7th. Got his lap back this time. So these cautions are working out for some of these drivers who came down pit road about 22 laps ago. And Sylvia is up next. Wiseman right now is your lucky dog. If Sylvia can get up there and get ahead of him, he will be in that position, and he is going to get those tires back on lead lap that have the freshest in the field. So this is working out great for some of these guys who took tires.
Yeah, that would be a really good situation for Jake Sylvia, I think, because he did just come down. So yeah, he's going to be on tires that are like 70 laps fresher than some of these cars up here. That is a huge, huge difference at Slinger. I wonder if he would even be able to try to push through these cars as the green flag is back out and try to take that lead lap on pace if we go green for long enough, but we got a car hard in the wall in the back.
And no caution. The caution now comes out. Trying to see who that is.
We had a spinner. It was Frank Barbary, I think.
Yeah, it is. That front end does not look good.
No, it does not. And again, no fast repairs here tonight. That 26 car was 4 laps down as it is. He might have to go even more down. Gonna see what happened to him here. That's the 28 of Carter Levi on his inside. And, oh, this started in front of him.
I really can't see who that is, but yeah, it did start in front of him because I noticed
Sylvia.
I noticed when we went to his car, he already had the damage that we were talking about. So I don't know.
It would have been the 4 of Colt Martin that was stopped up there.
Oh,
I'm not sure why he was stopped. Yeah, there's the Andon Mendenhall. That was the car who hit at the back, and oh, there he goes.
Oh,
turned by Chance Taylor in the 14.
Yeah, it started with Andon Mendenhall. Wow, there is a lot to this particular wreck, and you're going to watch on board with Andon here. It's just going to slap the wall. This is one, oh. In real life, that's a teeth breaker. You're going to have to go get some dental work after that. And then there's the contact with the 4 that sends him around, and then just sort of a chain reaction. My goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to have a chain reaction here because of how short this racetrack is. That's another one that the stewards are just deeming a racing deal because there's just so much to that. The pace car is going to pull off as it does in turn 2, but these drivers are not going to get the green flag to launch it until down by turn 3, and it'll come out now, and Terzak will get the jump.
Great restart for the 49 of Jake Grout, though. That was really, really nice. Is Grout going to get up into the wall now?
Little bit. He's going to drop back 1 spot, and now he's got Jacob York looking on his inside, trying to claim second, and that 25 car is pushing to get the spot. Grout way loose on the top, 25-2 through for P2, and now it's Justin Crow working for 3rd.
Yeah, big trouble for Grout as Peterson kind of stuck behind him as well as the Grout does kind of get it back going. But you said it early in this race. We were talking about how the fact that we went green for so long early, you said, well, the back half of this race is probably going to be crazy. And it is. These guys are driving the wheels off these cars. You can see Deegan Smith trying his best to get back up to the front. Those tires making a difference, but not a huge amount. And when you have cautions, Scott, you can't pass anybody. So it's just laps that you're running. You've got fresher tires, but you can't actually do anything with them. So Deegan Smith needs some green flag laps. I think he'll be back up at the front. Justin Crow, oh my goodness, as Peterson gets turned.
And that is the problem with getting the lucky dog, is you end up at the back of the field, and then you've got to work your way through a pack of cars that are 2 or 4 laps down, and you can just get jammed up and have that happen.
Yeah, and we actually saw that last caution, Sylvia stopping on the track to make sure he didn't lose that lucky dog. And we'll see if he gets it this time by. But, yeah, Peterson just, good grief, getting bullied there.
It was a weird wreck, too. He kind of got, like, jammed in the wall down the straightaway and ended up spun out in 3. Got a little bit of hair there on the front. That was a big accident for the 71. He's still on the lead lap, but again, with that damage, pretty substantial damage there on the right front, it's not going to help. Here's your lucky dog. It's Jake Sylvia.
Yeah, we talked about it. Now he's got 25 laps on these right side of tires that he changed, and he's going to restart in 9th. Now that's a part negative of the way this is all going is that you might get back on lead lap, but as we get more and more cautions, more folks get back on lead lap, and we have less opportunities for folks to go a lap down. So Sylvia's going to have to drive a little bit further than other guys. But so far, I mean, Crow has done a good job. We saw Peterson have a good opportunity to try to make some moves up there. Just ran out of room, just had nowhere to go there for a while. So we'll see if anybody on new tires can make it up through here on this next restart.
Well, that's what we're going to see. We're going to start getting lucky dogs here for those 2 lap down cars. because we're so late as we go back green that I don't think anybody on that lead lap is going to want to pit. Turzak and York are going to go at it on the front row, but Justin Crowe has been slipping his way up through the field, and he's on the inside of Jake Grout for third. He's going to look to the inside of the 25 of Justin York. Justin Crowe trying to move his way up to second.
Yeah, that's your fresh tires right there in the 86, and they're right behind him, that 15 and the number 20 on the scoring pylon of Deegan Smith. Those guys have the freshest tires. So Turzak trying to keep that gap. Turzak 88 laps, but Justin Crowe is through and now gets to set his sights on that 15 machine and the lead.
Yeah, he's through from the pack for now, and I doubt it's too long before Turzak and him start hitting lap traffic if this stays green. So he is going to look to gain some time here before they get into those cars. Deegan Smith led a bunch of laps. This race now cleared through to third. Jake Grout fourth. Justin York slips all the way back to fifth. Carter Levi still pressuring him for P6.
Yeah, I mean, not a huge difference in these tires, but I think it takes a few laps once you have a couple cautions for the heat to get back in it. If you're on older tires like Turzak is, right about now, you're going to start to feel the separation of having older tires versus newer tires. You can make it happen for a couple laps. So if you get a late race caution, having older tires not a detriment. But as the run goes on, those older tires are going to be a huge problem. As here comes Deegan Smith down to the inside, trying to make a move for second.
He is looking, and he is there. Looked like Crowe slowed up a little bit, was maybe going to try a cutback, but he didn't have the lane to do it. He'll fall back to Jake Grout. Deegan Smith has led a bunch of laps this race. I think he's led the second most laps this race behind Turzak as he gets into the wall a little right there. We know that 20 is quick. Can he chase down the leader with 38 to go?
Just 38 laps to go, and we've got somebody slow on the track. It looks like Carter Levi. No caution as he gets it back going. Oh, caution is going to come out as race control says, all right, we're going to call it here. And so back under caution. Let's go back and see what happened to Carter Levi as he goes straight to pit road. Got the 25 of Jacob York on the outside. And he just gets loose. Makes contact with York, gets up into the wall. The 16 makes contact, Clayton Edwards. And everybody keeps going, but I think race control said that's enough and threw the yellow, so.
Yeah, so he'll go to the back here, and he might go a couple more laps down with that pit stop. That'll drop him 2 down, and we are going to get our first 2-lap down car with a lucky dog. It'll be the 31 car of Brad Carpenter. So 1 more, and he'll be back on the lead lap as well, joining the 8 other cars already there.
Wow, this has been unbelievable. And we're seeing Christian Peterson come down pit road now. I don't know. There's obviously some damage on that right front, so I don't know if this is to try to help, and this might just be a gamble of like, hey, I'm willing to go a lap down here to get some tires and be on the offense here. I was falling back, and now I want to be more offensive here late in the race, especially if we have more and more cautions. And he's going to take 2 tires, and it looks like a little bit of damage. Knowing he's going to have to go a lap down anyway, might as well. As the field goes by, and he's going to go 1 lap down. And he is getting the all clear there, and he's able to cut down on the track. So a little bit of strategy call for your champion, the Touring Series champion.
It'll be interesting. Green flag is going to come back out as the cars roll through 3, so Peterson is going to have some work to do just to catch back up through the field. Turzak gets a good jump here as we take the green flag with 31 to go. Deegan Smith under continued pressure from Justin Crowe. They're still side by side for second. Caution is out. It is Carter Levi again. Or it's not Carter Levi. He was showing he wasn't moving. It's because he's in the pits. I'm not sure who that was for. Clayton Edwards got an EOL. It was Clayton Edwards.
Take a look at it here on the driver T's replay, and it was just there. It was 3 wide there for a moment. There it is, right there, 3 wide here at this track. That ain't gonna work. And just clips the 6. Not even sure who the 6 is.
That is Andon Mendenhall in the 5 is the driver there.
Gotcha. Yeah, just a 3 wide situation at this track. This ain't gonna work, and I think I think Clayton was like, I'm there. And I think if you're the one that makes it 3 wide, you probably just need to back out of it. He's going to take the EOL. He's 5 laps down, so the EOL is probably not a huge issue for him.
He's pretty much got the EOL every time anyways.
Yeah, he has.
All right, Terzak still leading this race with 28 to go. And we got a new car on the lead lap. Congratulations, Brad Carpenter. You are the lucky dog. He was 2 laps down. It looked like he was out of it, but he managed to get around Ty Dennis to take that lucky dog position, and he will drop to the back of the field but move himself up to 7th. He's not really on particularly fresher tires. The freshest tires on the lead lap are still Jake Sylvia's, 49 laps old, but he's up there. He's got similar tires to Justin Crowe from 62 laps ago. Pace car is going to move off right now, and the green flag is going to drop as we roll through turn 3. There you go. Terzak going to jump. Deegan Smith on the outside.
Terzak's had some really great restarts, and Deegan not being able to get clear for second has really helped Terzak. You know, there are 2 races going on right now. We have the race for the lead, and we also have the race for the lucky dog. It's Christian Peterson and Jacob York. Guys have been running up front, are battling, and Christian Peterson, unless he was part of that wreck, caution out.
We're going to find out if he was a part of that wreck. I'm not sure what the caution was for. We're going to find out here on the V-Speed replay. This is right in front of him. Andon Mendenhall, bad to worse, and I really hope Christian Peterson did not get a piece of that there.
Yeah, if you're not aware of how iRacing works, if you see the contact here between Mendenhall and Stephen Heights, is they're just I mean, Heights says no sir, I don't think so, and just yeets him. But if you're not aware of how it works, the lucky dog gives it to whoever's the first car a lap down, unless you're involved in the incident, and that could be any contact. So even a 0x, just a small contact with another car will negate that lucky dog. So we'll see.
And it has gone to Justin York.
Wow. So Jacob York was behind Peterson there, but it's going to go to York due to that contact. Scott, that sucks.
That is very rough for Christian Peterson because there was nothing he could do there. That happened right in front of him. That is going to put Justin York back on to the lead lap here, and he is on the freshest tires of the cars on the lead lap. Only 9-lap-old tires. The issue is he's going to need another caution because he's going from the back here. We're going to go back green. Terzak leads him off again. We'll see if we can get some laps in for Justin Crowe to challenge for P1.
Yeah, these cautions working in Terzak's favor, but now Deegan's going to get loose of Justin Crowe, and now he's right on the back bumper, and he is going to look down to the inside. Terzak may be in trouble here as Deegan is going to clear Terzak.
Terzak's on the oldest tires up here in this top 4, and you can see it because they're starting to go. Contact with Justin Crowe. Big loose. He saves it. No, he doesn't. He's into the tire barriers. That is going to bring out a caution.
Yeah, desperation for Terzak. Terzak needed Deegan, and we'll go back to that restart and kind of break this down a little bit. But he needed Deegan to not have that happen. We'll back it up just a little bit more. But I'll go to the blimp cam here, and Terzak needs Justin Crowe to be side by side with Deegan, and they get a good run there on the restart. But coming off this corner, Deegan actually gets down behind and gets in line, and that's not what the 15 wanted or needed. And he had been doing such a great job defending, and then the wheels just start to fall off, metaphorically speaking, but also a little bit literally. As you can see, he gets on the outside, and now it's desperation. He is trying to just wheel that car, and Justin Crowe going to make contact, and now, he got the wrong tires.
Yeah, it's a pretty big contact there with that tire barrier, and he's going to drop multiple laps down, and that'll take him out of contention tonight. Christian Peterson is going to get the lucky dog, but if there is one driver who is a beneficiary of this, it is Jacob York. He is currently running 7th. He was at the back. He got the lucky dog last time around. He's going to move up to start behind this top 6. And guess what? He is on 50 or more lap fresher tires than anybody else up here. He's 50 laps fresher than Jake Sylvia, 60 than Carpenter and Crow, 115 lap fresher tires than Jake Grout. As the pace car comes off and we go green, watch out. And the pace car's still on the racetrack, but we're going green anyway. Watch out for Jacob York at the 25.
Yeah, I think Sylvia is in the best spot to have a tire advantage. I think if you're way back there, I don't think you got enough time. I don't think York, Carpenter, or Peterson has enough time unless they pass 2 or 3 cars per caution. As we might get another one here. As Frank Barbary is sideways, keeps it going, so we stay green. I think Sylvia is the only one with tires who might have a shot here, but you can see there's nowhere to go, though, as Crow gets up into the wall. Now there is somewhere to go. Sylvia up to third. Is there 3 wide behind him? Oh, they're getting into the wall.
They're still all in the wall. Here comes Carter York through the third. He might need a caution to win this race because it's 1.2 to Deegan Smith, but he's going to get a podium here if he can get clear of the 1, which he will. He'll run him into the wall a little bit, but he's so much faster. Now his sights are set on the 45 car of Michael Wiseman, and that 25 has 85 lap fresher tires than Michael Wiseman. And Jake Grout, caution is out.
Oh my God. This has been the craziest race I've ever seen. That was unbelievable. Jacob York making me look like a big dum-dum up here in the booth.
Well, we're going to see what caused the caution. Oh, it's the 31 of Brad Carpenter around in turn 4. That is the cause of that yellow. We're going to see it one more time here on the DriverTees.com replay. With 31 of Carpenter, sitting behind him is Clayton Edwards, and Clayton Edwards punts him in some pretty big contact there for another car behind.
Yeah, there's really not much else to break down about that wreck. That's pretty much how it went. And now we're getting down to check cash in time. 5 laps to go. We're probably going to be 3 laps to go when we take. We'll see. We should get the 1 to green here, and we do. So we'll have 3 laps to go when they take the green flag, Sky. This is incredible, and I have no idea how it's going to turn out. Jacob York there in third. I've got my eyeballs on him.
He is going to do everything he can because he knows he's got the tires. Green flag is out for Deegan Smith with 3 to go. He's not clear of Wiseman yet. That 74 is fighting back on the top. We head to 2 to go, and Jacob York is going for P2.
Deegan, I think, did exactly what he needed to and try to keep those guys side by side. It almost feels like that's what he's trying to do, that because those guys side by side protects the lead. And right now, Wiseman, he's trying to get clear, but white flag is out, Sky.
He is. It looks like York is going to get second. They're going at it back there. We might go 3 wide. We won't. Deegan Smith is going to come around. He'll win at Slinger, and they are wrecking behind.
Yeah, Wiseman just
someone's flipped.
Wiseman let Jesus take the wheel there as go back to see Andy Mendenhall going for a ride here, going board with him.
He got, I don't know if he flipped over, but he got some very serious air. He was on his side for a second there. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I love that.
Deegan Smith gets it done. Jacob York got P2. Jake Grout bullied his way up to third at the last second over Michael Wiseman, and we're going to have about 5 different cars burn it down here. Good for them.
I mean, you might as well. I mean, you might as well just kind of open up the figure 8 and just let them at it. That was a fun race. You know, if you did not enjoy that, I don't know what you want out of this, because that was about as good as it gets, in my opinion. And it looks like he is gonna stop over here in front of Victory Lane. We'll get the drone cam out. We'll get the drone operator out here and get a good shot of that. As you're gonna see him, Deegan Smith, pull into the Victory Lane. I can't wait to talk to these guys and see what their opinion was about this race.
Yeah, this was absolutely chaotic. Deegan Smith is our race winner, and he is ready, so we're going to call him up into the booth here in just a second. Deegan Smith, how are you?
Good.
That was a wild race. Walk me through those last couple restarts there.
I just had to keep my ground and get the best possible restart that I could. Stay out in front of everybody.
All right. Well, I want you to tell me a little bit about the pit strategy here because we saw cars getting lapped every time that they came down pit road. How did that influence what you did this race? Because you finished on some pretty old tires.
Um, we were just talking about it, uh, seeing if we should pit or not. The Most of us went down and pitted. And I guess tires really didn't matter as much as people thought they would tonight.
All right. Well, win in the first race of the Triple Crown Showdown. You got two more coming up, Bristol and Martinsville. Does this set you up well for those?
Yeah, last season, more than, let's say, about 60% of this race and lost it within the last 20 laps. So it feels good to get this one, get some more confidence into the next two.
All right. Well, congrats on the win tonight, Deacon Smith. And we're still waiting on Jacob York. Don't have him just up yet. You say we move on to oh, there he goes right now. Jacob York pops into the booth. Eddie, I'm gonna let you have a word with him.
Well, Jacob, this is Eddie and Sky in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Holy moly, brother. That was an incredible race. Wild from start to finish. And you had probably one of the wildest ones. And you started all the way in the back. Let's start with the qualifying run. You made contact with the wall and validated that lap time. Talk me through that. And you had to start all the way back in 19th place.
Yeah, man, it's not really what I wanted. Showed up, built a set in practice there, limited time. Didn't really know I was going to run this tonight. And so our qual set, it really wasn't the best anyway, and missed it on the first lap. So I was trying to set up a good lap too, and then just clipped the wall there. So it really put me behind the eight ball and had to get me on a different strategy than really the front guys and how tires worked. And so I think that's what really set us up best, truthfully, was being behind the eight ball.
Well, tell me about the pit strategy because it all kind of changed. And I'm curious to know if you were aware of, how you needed to pit. You were going to have to give up a lap to get two tires and put them on. Or were you aware of that strategy, or were you learning it throughout the race like everybody else?
So yeah, I was learning it. As the first pit stop, I took two and went a lap down, and I was very surprised to still be in the top 10, but a lap down. So I was like, wow, next time I do come down pit road, I got to make sure that I only go one down, and it's within a reasonable time to, if we get a caution, maybe make the ground up that it's worth taking the tires. And it kind of played out in our favor there. I think I pit with 25 or so to go and got a yellow, got back on the lead lap, and just played the strategy right. It really looked like the restarts aligned pretty well with me. I got the bottom several times, so able to roll the bottom there. It seems like the dominant line on entries, so really prevailed on that aspect of it.
Yeah, I mean, you had a fast piece, even though you put it all together in practice. Seemed like you did a good job. And then, of course, at the end of the race, when you have fresher tires and everybody, it doesn't matter about your damn setup. It's just about how you get lucky with those restarts and be in the right line, make the right moves. And you did absolutely that. And it came home with a second place finish. How bad did you wish we had about 15 more laps there?
Honestly, man, I don't know if I had anything for the leaders on a long green run, so I don't know if I needed it to go longer or not. They would have liked to seen it go 2 or 3 more laps.
Well, either way, come home with a second place finish. Congratulations. Fantastic race. Great strategy call and great way to start off this Triple Crown. Anybody you want to thank?
I just can't thank everybody that makes it possible for me. The Holston River Machine Shop, EJR Wraps, my mom, my dad, and really just everybody that's had a hand in on my racing career virtually and in the real world.
All right, there you have it. Jacob York comes home in second. And I think, Sky, you're caught up with Jake Grout.
Yeah, Jake Rout. Tell me about your battle at the end there because you barely got Wiseman for P3.
Yeah, I was getting held up big time there. I was trying to be as nice as I could. But I wanted to go. I was mad at myself for the beginning of the race. Spun out of P2, so I was mad as it is, and then kept getting cautions, and I saw an opportunity to go 3, and I backed out of it because I knew it was going to be a stupid move. And then they ended up getting into each other, and I was able to squeeze through. So
You said you were being held up, but you also had the oldest tires in the field. You last pit, if I have this right, 144 laps ago. And yet you were still racing up there for a podium. So how'd you do that?
Yeah, I was on. I pit on lap 56. And I I wanted to come down around like lap 130, but they ended up doing some weird stuff with the caution, and I wasn't able to pit. So I don't know if it was a blessing not pitting. If me pitting would have gave me like a better shot, I don't really know. But I gotta thank Aiden Murray. Uh, he was up on the spotter stand, and if I didn't have him, I probably wasn't driving from 2 laps down to back on the lead lap under green.
All right, well, I want to know your thoughts on Slinger in general, because this is a very unique track. Did you have fun tonight? Would you want to come back here?
Um, Mixed emotions. I think it was a lot of fun. Um, I think there's some stuff that needs to be cleaned up. That first run, that was awesome, but we need more of that. And whenever it comes, just caution after caution, and with the track being broken as is with cautions, it turns into a cluster. But I think there's tracks we could go to that would make better racing than what we got here, 100%. But I think this is one of the tracks that the Midwest guys look forward to coming to, and we have to keep.
All right, well, anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
Yeah, I gotta thank Arcam Setup Shop, CSV Motorsports, AW Clark Builders, JNS Sales and Service, White's Heating, 49 Design, Aiden Murray, for everything. I think I already said his name, but he gets more than just one shout out. And you guys for broadcasting all season. You guys have done awesome. Misfit Productions, MRL, everybody.
All right, well, congrats on the third place finish tonight, Jake Rout.
Thank you.
And with that done, we're going to get one more look at our results here tonight for your race at Slinger. As mentioned, Deegan Smith got the win. Jacob York brought it home, P2. Jake Rout, P3, narrowly beating out Michael Wiseman for P4. Justin Crow, P5, Jake Sylvia, P6. Christian Peterson, Brad Carpenter, your last two on the lead lap, with Kyle Turzak 1 down and Chance Taylor 2 down in 10th.
In 11th was Colt Martin. This was just trouble from here on out. Multiple laps down, Colt Martin 5. Clayton Edwards in 12th, 5 laps down. Frank Barbary 7 laps down. Ty Dennis 23. It's just despair from here on out. Ty Dennis 14th, and Mendenhall in 15th. 16th is Corey. The timing and scoring is all over the place here, but Corey Bodie shows up on ATVO. Then you got Jared Shell in 19. Looks like some black flags for Ty Dennis and Steven Heights there at the end of the race, which put them behind in 20th. And of course, we know about Aaron Johnson getting disconnected. So some more issues after the checkered flag there. But I mean, all in all, Scott, incredible race.
It was a great one here tonight. You got any final thoughts, Eddie?
Well, we head to the Coliseum next week. That is what I'm thinking about. If they could put on this type of racing at a crazy track like Slinger, what can they do at Bristol? I cannot wait to find out. It's going to be pretty incredible. That was a fun one. I just love all of the different strategies, having to go a lap down to have a potential to win the race. And at the end of the day, Deegan Smith did everything right. Finished with 112 laps on his right sides and 200 laps on his left. So he made the right call, coming away with the win. Incredible race.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a great show at Bristol for 100 laps next week. For myself and Eddie Smith up in the booth, for everyone back at V-Speed and Misfit Productions, this has been a great showing of the Triple Crown Showdown here at Slinger. Have a good night, everybody.